Hello learners, welcome you to the teleconferencing session on Geology courses in BSc programs at IGNOU. Myself, Meenal Mishra, along with my colleague Professor R. Baskar, will be discussing today regarding the various geology courses that are being offered in BSc program. In 2019, July, BSCG, that is BSc General Program, was launched, and the geology courses that were offered in this BSc program were 4 core courses. Those were Physical and Structural Geology, then Crystallography, Mineralogy and Economic Geology, and Petrology, and the 4th core course was Stratigraphy and Paleontology. And along with these core courses, which were worth 4 credit, 2 credit worth lab courses were also offered. And apart from these core courses, there were 2 elective courses, Ore Geology and Industrial Minerals, this is elective course, and Geomorphology and Geotectonics, and with them there were lab courses worth 2 credits. So this was about the geology courses that were offered in BSCG program. Now, from 2024, the BSc program that was revised as per FYUP scheme, and the courses of geology that are on offer are 4 core courses that are spill over 3 years, yani ki 6 semester. Those are Physical and Structural Geology, then Crystallography, Mineralogy and Economic Geology, Petrology, and the 4th core course is Stratigraphy and Paleontology. Now I would request my colleague Professor R. Baskar to tell you about the first course, that is Physical and Structural Geology. In Hindi we call it as भौतिक एवं संरचनात्मक भूविज्ञान. Professor Baskar.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Meenal. You have given an overview of the complete structure. As now it must be clear to you that the theory is of 4 credits and the practical is of 2 credits, and I will be talking now about what we are going to cover or teach, or you will learn in this course BGYCT 131, Physical and Structural Geology. Now this is divided into 4 blocks, and these blocks are General Geology, Earth Surface Processes, and then you have Structural Geology, and you have Mountain Building and Plate Tectonics. Now the first thing you will learn in General Geology is Introduction to Geology. In this, what you will be learning is about the Earth and its origin. You will also learn about how the universe formed, and you will also know what are the internal structure of the earth and what are the internal processes which are occurring inside the earth, and essentially that is due to radioactivity. The second unit, what you will see, second block, what you will see is the earth surface processes, and that will relate to the exogenic processes. Now what are exogenic processes? Those that are occurring outside. Endogenic are which are occurring inside the earth. So you will learn about the geological agents and their actions on the earth. The geological agents such as rivers, wind, underground water and glaciers. So these are the topics which you will be learning. The next block is the structural geology, and this deals with basics of structural geology and different structures such as folds, faults, joints, and unconformities, different types and why they form. So the last unit is divided for dedicated to field geology, and that is a most important aspect of this topic. The next block is mountain building and plate tectonics, and this one deals with different theories of mountain building and orogenic process. The concept of plate tectonic has been dealt in great detail, and similar to that you can see we have the practical course, which is BGYCL 132. Again, as Professor Meenal Mishra mentioned, it is of 2 credits, and we have around 11 experiments in this. And the 11th experiment is a geological fieldwork, which is dedicated to outside activities. The other 10 are building up so that you are ready for the 11th experiment. One is the preparation of diagram showing structured layer of structure of the Earth's interior. Then the preparation of seismic zonation map of India, reading topographical maps of the Survey of India, and identifying the geomorphic features from block models. The most important is the use of clinometer compass and the exercises on structural problems of dip and strike. You will also use models to understand folds, faults, and also this will be more application oriented. You will draw geological cross-section profile and interpret the geological map. So this is what you will be learning in this course. Now I would request my colleague Professor Meenal Mishra to talk about the second course and the topics which we will be dealing with them.
Thank you. See, before I proceed further, it is pertinent for me to mention that all the geology courses are offered both in English and Hindi language, and all our self-learning materials are uploaded on e-Gyankosh portal. And thirdly, all the courses, they have been blended with videos and audios, and the links and the QR codes have been provided in the initial pages of each course. So now I come to the second course. The second course is Crystallography, Mineralogy and Economic Geology. In Hindi we say Crystal Vigyan, Khanij Vigyan or Arthik Bhuvigyan. So this is the Hindi, the cover pages for the Hindi SLMs. This course have been packaged into 2 volumes, and each volume has got 2 blocks. The first block of first volume is Crystallography. Now, crystallography, that will introduce you to the basic of the crystals, the properties of the crystals, the symmetry elements that are related to the different types of crystals, and laws of crystallography, crystal symmetry, and a normal class of 7 crystal systems. Now, the second block, let us come to the second block. The second block is devoted to physical properties of minerals, their chemical and structural classification, and this block also focuses on the physical and chemical properties of various rock-forming minerals. So this was about the first volume. Now let us come to the second volume. The second volume, that again comprises 2 blocks, block 3 and block 4. The block 4, that is devoted to optical mineralogy. Now you know that in geology we do not use the common microscope for looking at the geological thin sections of rocks and minerals. We use polarizing microscope, or we also call it as petrological microscope. So in this block, you will be introduced to the uses and function of polarizing microscope. You will look at the thin section of different minerals, and you will You will also learn to identify the diagnostic features of different minerals which are commonly known as rock forming minerals. Now we come to the fourth block. The fourth block is devoted to economic geology. Here we will study about the basics of ores and what are the various processes of formation of ores and metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, their occurrence, their distribution. Then we will also learn about the occurrence and the mode of formation of coal and petroleum and their distribution in Indian context. And associated with this course, we have a lab course that is worth 2 credits. In this, you will learn to identify the normal class of 7 crystal system: monoclinic system, triclinic system, orthorhombic system, trigonal system. Then you have hexagonal system, and then you will also learn in the hand specimen to identify the physical properties, diagnostic properties of various rock forming minerals, and you will also learn to identify these minerals in thin section, both in polarized light and cross polarized light. And finally, you will also study the megascopic hand specimens of different economic minerals and the distribution of coal and petroleum in India. So this was all about the second course, and my colleague will tell you about the third course, that is Petrology. In Hindi we call it as Shail Vigyan.
Thank you, Professor Meenal. The third course is Petrology. We have 2 volumes and 4 blocks. As usual, this is of 4 credits. The volume 1 is igneous petrology. You have 2 blocks. Then you have volume 2, sedimentary petrology is 1 block, and the next block is metamorphic petrology. Now, what is petrology? Petrology is nothing but study of rocks. And in this, what you will do is you will learn about igneous rocks, their origin, their classification, their formation, how magma is formed, and what are the mineral deposits associated. So all issues related to igneous petrology, you will be learning the structure and forms of igneous rock. Now the block 2 will introduce you to the concept of magma, composition, origin and crystallization of magma. You will also learn about the important concept of Bowen's reaction series, and you will also understand why magma composition varies due to assimilation and differentiation processes. So you will study about megascopic and petrographic description of felsic, intermediate, mafic and ultramafic rocks. Now if you see the next block 3, it is dealing with sedimentary processes. What you will learn here is the formation of sedimentary rocks, the texture, the structure, the classification of sedimentary rocks on the basis of texture, composition, classification, origin and occurrence. Sedimentary rocks are those which are formed due to exogenic processes. The metamorphic rocks are formed from the pre-existing igneous, sedimentary or even metamorphic rocks, and these are due to changed pressure temperature condition. And in block 4 you will learn about the metamorphic rocks, what are the metamorphism, what are the products, what are the types, zones, grade of metamorphism, the different textures and structures of metamorphic rocks, what are the factors which affect texture and type of texture, the classification of metamorphic rocks. As for other rocks, you will also learn about the megascopic and microscopic characters of some common metamorphic minerals. As usual, you will have a laboratory course which is of 2 credits. The course code is BGYCL136 and you will have around 11 experiments. The first experiment you will have is megascopic study of common felsic rock. Then you will also study the same characteristics of intermediate rocks, the mafic igneous rocks and ultramafic igneous rocks. All this will be megascopic study, that is hand specimen. Then you will do the thin section study through microscopic study of common felsic and intermediate rock, common mafic and ultramafic rocks. You will also study megascopic characteristics of sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks, again microscopic characteristics of sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks, and you will have a compulsory field training and preparation of report in which you will understand the different rock types, classify them, identify them using hand specimens and the field studies. Now I will request my colleague Professor Meenal Mishra to talk about the next course which is on offer.
Now this is the fourth course that is on offer in BSc program. This is Stratigraphy and Paleontology. You know, all the courses are interesting, but it's a very interesting course because it tells you about how different rocks were formed on the Earth's crust and how their deposition took place. And you will read about the sequence of these rocks. And you will also read about the fossils and how the evolution of this life took place on Earth. In Hindi, we call it as Starkram Evam Jivashma Bhuvigyan, and the course code is BGYCT 137. So it is offered in Hindi also. Now again, this course, it is packaged into 2 volumes. The first volume, it deals with the fundamental concepts of stratigraphy. Stratigraphy means Starkram. And then principles of stratigraphy, stratigraphic correlation, and then laws that governs stratigraphic sequence and physiography of India. In block 2, that is again devoted to stratigraphy, you will read in particular about stratigraphy of India with main stratigraphic supergroups and groups belonging to different age in the geological sequence, Precambrian, then Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Now the second volume, that is totally devoted to paleontology. Herein you will, in block 3, you will learn about the principles of paleontology, fossils and fossilization, their types, mode of preservation and their significance. You will also learn about the classification of plant fossils in, you will read about the Gondwana plant fossil. Gondwana supergroup is known for its plant fossils. So you will also read about the plant fossils. And the fourth block, that is devoted to invertebrate fossils. And here you will read about the taxonomy, morphology and geological history of corals, brachiopods, mollusks, trilobites and echinoderms. As usual, this course is also associated with 2-credit lab course, wherein you will perform experiments that are based on morphological characters and systematic position and age of fossil genera pertaining to brachiopod, bivalve, cephalopod, trilobite, echonoid. And you will also prepare physiographic map of India along with the lithostratigraphic map, and you will also learn how to prepare a typical stratigraphic column. So now let us come to these were all 4 core courses. Now let us come to the elective courses that are on offer. The first elective course that is on offer is Ore Geology and Industrial Mineral. In Hindi we call it as Ayask Bhuvigyan Evam Audyogik Khanij. And I would request my colleague to explain you about the content of this course.
Thank you, Professor Meenal. This is the 5th course. It's an elective course and the title is Ore Geology and Industrial Mineral. Course code is BGYET 141. What you will be learning in this is it is consists of 2 volumes, volume 1 block 1 and 2, volume 2 again block 1 and 2, and in block 1 you will learn about fundamentals of ore geology. You will learn about the basic terminology such as reserve estimation and the ore microscopy. You will also understand metallogeny in relation to tectonics and how the different mode of occurrence of the ore bodies. In block 2, you will deal with ore genesis, how they are formed, origin of these ores. This block will acquaint you with magmatic and metamorphic process of ore formation. It will also give you an idea about volcanogenic, sedimentary and weathering process associated with ore formation. Now you have the block volume 2, block 3 and 4. The block 3 describes the physical and chemical properties, mode of occurrence, geographic distribution, grade, specification of ferrous and non-ferrous ores and industrial minerals. You will also learn about coal, petroleum, atomic minerals, their origin and distribution. And in block 4, you will learn about the insight of mineral exploration and mineral economics. You will also understand mineral exploration and different mineral exploration methods that are used, such as geophysical, geochemical, geobotanical and remote sensing. If you see the practicals, again they are of 2 course, 2 credit, and you have 11 experiments, and you will do the megascopic study of metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, industrial minerals. You will also prepare a map showing the distribution of metallic mineral deposits in India and non-metallic mineral deposits in India. You will also prepare a map showing the atomic minerals of India and also distribution of coal and lignite deposits in India. There will also be a map which will be prepared which will show the hydrocarbon basins of India. Then you will study using the petrographic microscope the common sulfide ore minerals and the common oxide ore minerals. Now I will request my colleague Professor Meenal Mishra to talk about the last elective course.
Now this is the 6th course, Geomorphology and Geotectonics. In Hindi we call it as Bhu Akritik Evam Bhu Vivartaniki, and the course code is BGY ET 147. So this is also of 4 credit, and the content of this course is, again it is packaged into 2 volumes. Volume 1 that pertains to geomorphology, and in this volume there are 2 blocks. The first block that focuses on the basic concepts of geomorphology, geomorphic processes, and the commonly used terminologies and the factors that control these processes. And block 2 is devoted to landforms and the different kind of landforms that result from various geological agents, tectonic processes, and the geological agents like fluvial, glacial, coastal, karst and lacustrine. And in the second volume that is totally devoted to geotectonics, the third block that is devoted to the fundamentals of geotectonics, where you will read about the fundamental principles of geotectonics, and then continental drift and the various evidences that tell us that continental drift that took place, paleomagnetism, seafloor spreading, and the modern theory of plate tectonics. Now the fourth block that is totally devoted to plate tectonics, and here you will study in detail about the concept of plate tectonics, plate boundaries, and the processes that are taking place at the plate boundaries. Now, based on this theory course, you have a practical course worth 2 credit. Here you will perform 9 experiments, and you will be acquainted with the reading of the topographical maps and how to analyze drainage morphology, longitudinal profile of a river, and then about asthenosphere and lithosphere, and then many more things related to tectonic maps and the demarcation of the plate boundaries. Now, learners, it is now time for us to summarize. See, all these geology courses, you will find them very interesting. And they are designed in such a way that these concepts are built one over the other. So as you proceed with different courses, you will find them interesting. We discussed about the overall broad content about the 6 courses, in which 4 are core courses, that is physical and structural geology, then crystallography, mineralogy and economic geology, petrology, stratigraphy and paleontology, and we also discussed in detail about the 2 elective courses. Those are geomorphology and geotectonics, and ore geology and industrial mineral. I hope you must have enjoyed the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.